All right, we had a company send us another plasma cutter to review, so let's get into it. All right, there it is, that brand, HYC550DP. Runs on 110 or 220. It's a high frequency pilot arc plasma cutter. And here's all the specs on it. I guess you can see that pretty good. And if you need to read that any longer, then just pause the video. So let's get this box open and get into it. All right, here's the back. You have to assemble this, put the air fitting in, then hook the hose, put this fitting in the regulator, and then put this just a push lock. I didn't cut this hose because, yeah, I have my reasons. If you know, you know. But you can cut this shorter if you want it so it ain't sticking out like that. I probably would if I was, you know. And you got to install the gauge and then just put it on here. And then, of course, your air hose just plugs in here like a regular air hose does. And your on-off switch is on the back. Comes with the torch all rolled up nice and neat. Comes with a wrench. And, of course, owner's manual. You need to read that, especially if you don't know how to use a plasma cutter. It comes with an air hose that you can use. I'm assuming this is to go from here to your air compressor. But if you have an air compressor, most people have them, right? You just plug that right into that, and you're good to go. And, of course, the ground clamp. Comes with a pretty good ground clamp. And a bag of goodies. This is your little bag of consumables for the torch. And, of course, this fitting and this fitting was in here. And then the regulator and the gauge and all was in that box there. Anyway, let's get this thing turned around and get to the business side of it. I got everything all set up in the front. I got the torch hooked up. Here's your pilot arc. Here's your switch. Here's the torch. That's the hose, the air hose. And, of course, your ground goes there. I don't have that hooked up yet, but I'm going to. Here's all your settings on the machine. Let me see if I can get it zoomed in some, show you a little bit better. There we go. As you can see, it's on cut right this minute. You put it on that, and then you adjust it back there in the back with the regulator. It's not like the other machine that I had where you adjust it up front. I wish it was. I got it set low because those hoses, the hose you see sticking out right here, where it goes into the machine and where it goes into the regulator is leaking. Not bad, but it's leaking. It's just compressed air, but it ain't gonna hurt anything. But that's why I don't have the air pressure turned up a lot here, because I don't want to leak out a lot of air just sitting here talking about the machine. But anyway, here is, you set this, you hear the air coming out the torch. Okay. You turn that on and then you set it back there to what you want it set on, and then obviously when you cut it off it goes up higher. That way when you pull the trigger, you get the air pressure set right here, you pull the trigger, starting to weld, or not weld, but cut, and the air pressure is going to go down once you pull the trigger. So that's a good feature to have right there. That way you know you got the air pressure set right. It'll be set right once you pull the trigger. And here's your amps. And I'm sure it goes from 15 to 55. And here is your pilot arc and post time. See, that's post time. What that is you set that to every how many seconds you want the air to come out of the torch once you stop cutting. It's to help save on consumables. It's to cool it down. And post time or a pilot arc. That's how many seconds you set your pilot arc, from 5 to 15. It's just like, well, no, it's from 1 to 15. And that's from 3 to 15. Huh. That's pretty cool. So, got some metal set up over there. Thin piece, a little bit thicker, and a little bit thicker. So 3 different thicknesses. It's probably 16 gauge, 3/16, and maybe a quarter. So let's get over there and try to cut something with it. Okay, well, as you've seen, it cut a couple of the pieces. I was going a little too fast, and it skipped the spot, but it's all good. I just went back and redid it, and that one is not very straight because I guess. But you see, there's not that much dross on it, so it's cutting clean. And that just depends on how you got the machine set. So this piece here is still a little warm. This was the last piece I cut. As you can see, that piece was kind of rough. But the last piece was that one. It came out pretty good. And that was off of this, which I'm assuming, I believe that's 1/4 inch thick. But as you can see, it cut pretty good. No dross. Here's some thin stuff, just freehand. It cut pretty good. I didn't do any cleaning on this one. And that was with no line to go by or anything like that. And I was also cutting backwards, where you pushing instead of pulling. Here's that one that I believe came off of this one, all crooked. But as you can see, little to no dross. Here's some more of the thick stuff. This one. And here's another little piece I cut. So it cuts pretty good. I like it. The only thing I don't like about it is the air line in the back leaking. That would have to be fixed, but that should be a simple fix. That should be no big deal. So shouldn't have to worry about that. And as you see, it's blinking. Let me see if I can zoom you in some. You see it says EO5, error code 5. Not area code, error code. And if you look in the book, right there, it says it's because there's low air pressure. Low or no air pressure. And that is correct because I released air pressure and took the airline loose. So, and with that being said, I guess I could cut it off, huh? Now this one does not have, with it being a 55 amp, or I guess that's why it does not have the mesh setting. So, but you can still cut mesh with it. It's no big deal. Because even the other ones with the mesh settings, it cuts off and on. But instead of having to re-pull the trigger every time, it'll automatically do it with the mesh settings. It also comes with an adapter. Plug the machine, the wire from the machine in here, and plug this into your 110. If you want to use it on 110, now it won't cut near as thick of material on 110 as it does on 220, obviously. I would try it like I do say every video when I'm reviewing these. My outlet over there won't even run my table saw without popping the it's a GFCI, so I know it won't run a plasma cutter or a welding machine. So with that being said, that's all I got for this video. I hope you liked it. This is a pretty good machine. If you ever have any doubt on these off-brand machines, give them a try. They're not that expensive. I think you'll be happy with them. They're a lot better than spending the big money on it, especially if you're just a DIYer or doing stuff around your shop. You're at home. This is all you need. Anyway, and like always, if you want to get one of these machines, there will be a link down there, you know where, in the description. And there will also be a pinned comment with a link to go to Amazon and pick this machine up. I would appreciate it. It'll help me out a little bit, and it doesn't cost you anything to use the link. So there that is. That's all I got for this video. Hope you like it. See you in the next one.